An unexplained shift in Earth's orbit has NASA on edge. A mysterious object has altered its course without any warning, and experts are racing to uncover the cause.
That was visible to everybody in broad daylight, and you had to avert your eyes when it happened. And they felt a shockwave, and the shockwave broke windows and sent 600 people, nearly 1,000 people to the hospital.
And what is this mysterious project, really? 1. A mysterious visitor. Astronomers using the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope in Hawaii detected a mysterious object passing through our solar system. At first, it was classified as a comet or asteroid, but it didn't fit the description of any of that. They kept trying to classify it as something, but it was too difficult to do. Further observations made it clear that it was unlike anything scientists had ever seen. It didn't fit the description of any of that. The confusion just got worse at this point. The object was named Oumuamua, a Hawaiian term meaning scout or messenger from afar. This was the first interstellar object ever confirmed to visit our solar system, which means it came from outside the sun's gravitational influence. Unlike other space objects which orbit the sun, Oumuamua entered our solar system from an unknown point beyond, and, for a while, was headed directly for Earth. 2. Where was it discovered? The object was first spotted moving rapidly through the constellation Lyra, traveling at a speed of 196,000 miles. Its path suggested it had been making its way through space for millions or even billions of years before entering our solar system. One of the strangest aspects of Oumuamua was its elongated shape. Observations suggested it was up to 10 times longer than it was wide, with estimates of its length ranging from 800 meters to 1 kilometer. This cigar-like structure was unlike any other asteroid or comet we've ever come across before. It could be a fragment of an exoplanet, a comet from another star system, or something entirely unknown. The last one seemed to be the answer here. 3. The shape wasn't the only weird thing here. One of the most confusing aspects of Oumuamua's journey through our solar system was its unexpected acceleration as it moved away from the sun. Normally, an object like an asteroid or comet would follow a predictable path, with gravity being the primary force acting on it. That's the case with every planet, star, and space junk that we encounter in space on a day-to-day basis. However, in the case of Oumuamua, it was showing a slight but measurable increase in speed as it left the sun's vicinity. This defied expectations based on known physics for objects like this, but they were trying to figure out what it could be. The first explanation scientists considered was outgassing, a process where comets release gas and dust when heated by the sun. This ejection of gas can act like a small thruster, causing the object to accelerate slightly. But since it's not a comet, that wasn't really possible. So what was really going on here? 4. Could it be radiation pressure? Radiation pressure from sunlight could be responsible for Oumuamua's unexpected acceleration. This occurs when photons from the sun exert a small force on an object. While this force is usually negligible, in some cases, it can cause a slight increase in speed, especially for objects that are extremely lightweight and thin. For radiation pressure to account for its movement, the object would need to be unusually thin, a couple of millimeters thick, like a solar sail. A solar sail uses light itself to propel a spacecraft, allowing it to accelerate without the need for traditional fuel. But considering it wasn't small whatsoever, this explanation didn't really make that much sense either. 5. Something natural? While the solar sail theory opened up exciting possibilities, many astronomers remain convinced that Oumuamua is more likely a natural object rather than an artificial one. One theory suggests that Oumuamua might be a fragment of a larger body that was torn apart by gravitational forces in another star system. If this were the case, the intense gravitational interactions could have stretched and deformed the object, giving it its unusual elongated shape. This scenario could also explain the lack of outgassing, as the object may have been stripped of volatile materials during this violent process. There's also the possibility of exotic ices. Some researchers think that Oumuamua may be made of hydrogen or nitrogen ice, which are less commonly found in our solar system. These ices could transform from solid to gas when heated by the sun, causing the object's acceleration without leaving a visible coma or tail, as typically seen with comets. Hydrogen, in particular, would be difficult to detect, as it is lightweight and disperses quickly, leaving no detectable trace. But this is very rare, and by the looks of it, Oumuamua wasn't icy. 6. It's red. While Oumuamua looks like a strangely shaped space rock from afar, when you get closer to it, things start to get a lot more confusing. The exact composition of Oumuamua's surface remains unknown, but the reddish color suggests it might be rich in metals or complex organic molecules. It might be made up of the same materials that Mars is made of. Scientists think that its surface might be composed of rock or metal rather than ice or other volatile materials. But despite the way it seems to be, there are no craters or markings on it for us to connect this to anything else in space. That's one of the things we can't explain, but the one that concerned scientists the most was the way it was moving. 7. The change in trajectory. Upon discovery, Oumuamua was observed following a hyperbolic orbit, which meant it was moving too fast to be captured by the sun's gravity. This hyperbolic trajectory suggested that it had entered the solar system from interstellar space and would soon exit, continuing its journey into space. It eventually reached its closest point to the sun, known as perihelion. After this, it continued on its trajectory, moving away from the sun and exiting the solar system. It actually got fairly close to Earth at one point, and scientists were worried that it might end up crashing into us, but it rapidly continued its journey outward. Within a few days, Oumuamua was no longer visible from Earth because of its increasing distance, with only 11 days to gather information before it moved too far away. Researchers faced a lot of pressure. The European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope was deployed to analyze the object's properties, including its orbit, color, and brightness. It was like something else was pulling it outwards. 8. Like it had a completely different driving force. Things had gotten so confusing with this mysterious object that scientists had to explore the idea that it could be a piece of alien technology, potentially designed for exploration or surveillance. The reddish color of Oumuamua added to this theory. If it were an artificial object, the color might have been intentionally chosen to blend in with other celestial bodies, reducing the likelihood of detection and making it harder to spot. It's possible that's why the object got so close to the Earth before turning away. It was here to gather information. To truly understand Oumuamua, scientists have decided that they're going to be sending a spacecraft to intercept it out in the open space. With Oumuamua already having left the solar system, a mission would need to be launched by 2028. The spacecraft would be designed to withstand interstellar conditions and use a gravity assist from Jupiter to reach the object, a journey projected to take about 26 years. But when it comes to space exploration, that's not too long of a time. With all of the advancements we're making in space travel, This expected window might become shorter and shorter until it totally disappears altogether. But this wasn't the first time something strange had made its way into our solar system. 9. Comet Borisov. On August 30, 2019, amateur astronomer Gennady Borisov made a strange discovery: Comet 2I Borisov. He noticed an unusually moving object while stargazing from his observatory in Crimea. Initially thought to be an ordinary comet, it was soon clear that 2I Borisov had come from beyond our solar system, the second one in history. With a highly unusual trajectory and traveling at an incredible speed of about 175,000 kilometers per hour, it made its closest approach to the Sun on December 8, 2019, and then passed near Earth later that month. The comet's nucleus, roughly 0.5 kilometers in diameter, had a tail stretching 14 times the size of Earth. That's massive. This comet has between 9 and 26 times more carbon monoxide, which means it originated from a very cold region of space. It's more stable in low temperatures, so its abundance indicates that 2I Borisov formed in an environment far colder than the regions where typical solar system comets originate. But strange discoveries like this were being made far earlier on in history, even if we didn't always know what we were looking at. 10. Radio Signal Blaster. GPMJ 1839-10 was first detected in 1988, but its significance wasn't realized until recently. This object is located about 15,000 light-years from Earth in the Milky Way galaxy. It emits intermittent radio signals in a distinctive pattern, with bursts occurring every 18 minutes. Each burst lasts 30 to 60 seconds, during which the object brightens significantly, kind of like a cosmic lighthouse. In 2018, researchers using the Murchison Wide Field Array radio telescope noted that the object had paused its emissions, which just made all of this even more confusing. Some scientists think that it could be a pulsar or a magnetar. Pulsars are rotating neutron stars that emit beams of radiation, while magnetars are neutron stars with intense magnetic fields that occasionally release powerful bursts of energy. But we don't really have definitive proof that this is any of that. Even though it's been decades since it was first found, we still need a lot more research into it before we can figure out what this signal blaster really is. 11. USS Jellyfish. The USS Jellyfish is a mysterious and massive astronomical structure that has scientists confused but interested since its discovery in 2017. Found in the galaxy cluster Abell 2877, about 340 million light-years from Earth, it stretches over 1.2 million light-years and takes on a jellyfish-like form with a clear head and tentacles. This shape is because of plasma that has spread and cooled over billions of years. The shape is interesting on its own, sure, but it's the ultra-steep radio frequency spectrum that has everyone talking. This means it primarily emits low-frequency radio waves, becoming invisible at higher frequencies. This ultra-steep spectrum, the steepest ever observed, earned it the nickname USS Jellyfish. Scientists think that supermassive black holes ejected plasma around 2 billion years ago, with recent shock waves reigniting the emissions. Classified as a polyphenix, it may have formed through multiple energetic events, unlike typical radio sources linked to a single black hole. That's why it looks so different compared to the average find in space. 12. Odd radio circles. Odd radio circles are one of the universe's strangest recent finds. Discovered in 2019 during a pilot survey using the ASCAP telescope, they appear as massive ghostly rings over 1 million light-years wide. What's most confusing here is that they can only be detected in radio wavelengths, making them invisible to the naked eye and undetectable by X-ray, optical, or infrared instruments. Absolutely nothing else can see them. We just know they're there, so even their origins are still a mystery to this day. Some scientists suggest they could be formed by massive galactic explosions or the merging of supermassive black holes. These would create shock waves, pushing material outward and forming the circular shape. More recent studies using the Meerkat telescope uncovered a galaxy at the center of one ORC, fueling speculation that galactic winds or black hole activity could be responsible. As of now, only a handful of these have been identified, and their discovery is totally changing everything we've known about space. 13. Fermi bubbles. Considering how scientists have been studying stars and the space in general for hundreds of years, you'd be surprised how many things are more recent finds, things we just learned in the past 2 to 3 decades. Fermi bubbles are one of them. The Fermi bubbles are massive structures located above and below the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Discovered in 2010 by the Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope, these bubbles stretch over 50,000 light-years, emitting powerful gamma rays. What makes them so interesting is the vast amount of energy they seem to contain, yet their exact origin remains unknown. One theory suggests that they may have been created by a burst of activity from the Milky Way's supermassive black hole, Sagittarius A1. Others say that they could be the result of galactic winds or shock waves from ancient star formations. Recent research, including X-ray and neutrino detections, hints that something massive happened in our galaxy's past. We might not know everything about these right now, but they're definitely clues about the evolution of the Milky Way. And if we can figure them out, we'd be able to piece together just how the entire galaxy came into existence. 14. Hoag's Object. Hoag's Object is an extraordinary ring galaxy located about 612.8 million light-years away in the Serpens constellation. Discovered in 1950 by astronomer Arthur Hoag, it stands out because of its unique structure, a bright outer ring of young blue stars encircling an older, reddish core with a noticeable gap between the two. Spanning 121,000 light-years across, it's larger than the Milky Way and home to around 8 billion stars. What makes Hoag's Object so strange is its formation. There are theories suggesting that it could be the result of a galactic collision or a rare phase in galaxy evolution, but no direct evidence supports these ideas. Despite extensive study, the origins of this cosmic oddity haven't been confirmed. It's super rare because ring galaxies make up less than 0.1% of all known galaxies, so finding out information about this is integral to finding out the truth about the basics of galaxies and how they're formed. 15. The Black Knight Satellite. The Black Knight Satellite is an object in a near-polar orbit around Earth, believed by some to be a real extraterrestrial spacecraft. The satellite's story traces back to Nikola Tesla's experiments in 1899, when he claimed to have received unusual radio signals, which some later theorized might have come from an alien satellite. In 1928, Jürgen Hals reported hearing long-delayed radio echoes, which just made the theory go even deeper. The theory gained more traction in the 1950s, when UFO researcher Donald Keyhoe alleged that the US Air Force detected 2 unidentified satellites. This claim emerged long before any known satellite was launched, which is why people claim that one of these objects was not man-made. In 1998, during the STS-88 space shuttle mission, astronauts captured images of a strange black object orbiting Earth. NASA later identified this object as a thermal blanket lost during a spacewalk, but the sighting fueled the Black Knight satellite conspiracy. Despite scientific explanations, the theory persists, with many believing the object is an ancient alien probe. 16. The WOW signal. The WOW signal, detected by Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Telescope on August 15, 1977, is one of the most mysterious yet interesting potential signs of extraterrestrial communication. Discovered by astronomer Jerry R. Eman, it lasted 72 seconds and was recorded at a frequency of 1420.456 near the hydrogen line. The signal was narrow-band, 30 times stronger than background noise, and appeared to come from the direction of Sagittarius near the globular cluster M55. Theories suggest it could be an alien message or a result of natural phenomena, like a magnetar interacting with hydrogen clouds. Despite numerous attempts, the signal has never actually been detected again, which just makes it that much more special. 17. Stephan's Quintet. Stephan's Quintet is a fascinating group of 5 galaxies in the constellation Pegasus, first discovered by Edouard Stephan in 1877. It includes 4 interacting galaxies, along with a foreground spiral galaxy. The galaxies are approximately 290 million light-years away, except NGC 7320, which is about 40 million light-years away. The group is known for its dramatic galaxy interactions, leading to star formation bursts and distorted shapes. Observations by the Hubble and James Webb Space Telescopes have provided images and insights into these interactions, and we have a lot to learn from them. 18. Lenticular Galaxy, NGC 5866. A lenticular galaxy, designated as S0, is an intermediate type between elliptical and spiral galaxies. It features a central bulge and a disk, but doesn't really have distinct spiral arms of spiral galaxies, giving it a smooth appearance, often described as armless spirals. Lenticular galaxies come in 2 main types: S0, with no central bar, and SB0, which includes a central bar structure. They have a higher bulge-to-disk ratio compared to spiral galaxies, and generally have less prominent disks that can sometimes be mistaken for elliptical galaxies. These galaxies are often seen as transitional forms, possibly evolving from spiral galaxies that have depleted their gas and dust. They can still host some star formation, though less actively than spirals. Studying lenticular galaxies helps understand galaxy evolution and their role in galaxy clusters, which makes them some of the most important types of galaxies that have ever been found. 19. Tabby's Star. Tabby's Star, or KIC 8462852, is an F-type main sequence star in Cygnus. Discovered by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope in 2009, it became known in 2015 because of its unusual dimming patterns. The star has been seen to have erratic brightness dips, with reductions reaching up to 22%. Several theories attempt to explain these fluctuations: a swarm of comets passing in front of the star, large clouds of dust messing with how we see its light, shedding debris, and even the idea of an alien megastructure like a Dyson sphere. Intrinsic stellar activity has also been considered, but it doesn't fully account for the observed long-term dimming. Ongoing research, including observations from various telescopes, continues to investigate these possibilities, but so far, every answer leads to 2 more questions. 20. The Great Red Spot. The Great Red Spot is a colossal storm on Jupiter, making it the largest storm in our solar system, though it has been shrinking over time. Its size has decreased from around 30,000 miles in the late 19th century to its current dimensions. The Great Red Spot is an oval-shaped feature, predominantly reddish, with color variations ranging from salmon red to gray, depending on atmospheric conditions. The exact reason for its red color remains under investigation, with theories suggesting it might be because of sulfur and phosphorus compounds or organic materials. Situated about 22 degrees south of Jupiter's equator, the Great Red Spot rotates counterclockwise with wind speeds reaching up to 268 miles per hour at its edges. The storm's nature means it is a high-pressure system, and unlike terrestrial hurricanes, it's confined within a specific latitude band because of surrounding jet streams. Its energy is thought to come from the condensation of gases like water and ammonia, and it may also interact with smaller storms to maintain its size. Infrared observations reveal that the Great Red Spot is cooler than the surrounding clouds, indicating it extends high above Jupiter's main cloud layers. First observed by Giovanni Cassini in the 17th century and continuously documented since 1878 by astronomers, including C.W. Pritchett, the Great Red Spot has been visible for over 300 years. However, recent research, particularly from NASA's Juno spacecraft, shows that it has been shrinking at a rate of about 580 miles per year. This ongoing reduction in size raises questions about its future stability. Juno's data has also revealed that the storm extends 150 to 310 miles below Jupiter's cloud tops and has shown variations in color over time, which might be linked to changes in atmospheric compounds. It's also grounds for us to learn so much more about space. But do you think there's anything else out there? Are there any mysteries we can actually solve about space?